Let's start over. Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? This is Christina Elkins, and I am the presenter for the Brand Like a Boss webinar. And I just want to say welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for your time tonight. And tonight I'm going to go right into it. We're going to cover what it means to brand like a boss. Now, we all know due to the market that we're in a global economy, and that means that everybody has the opportunity to be a boss at whatever extent that means, at whatever level that they're on. We all have the opportunity to be a boss in our own right. It just takes a little bit of hard work, dedication. For this webinar, I'm not really going to go into all of the details with regards to the legal side and the business side, because I want to assume that people know what that portion of being a boss means. And so I don't want to like bore everybody by talking about like what is it? Just setting up a business as far as deciding like if you want to be a corporation or all right. So yeah. So hi guys, this is Christina Elkins Thomas, and I'm on here to come. I'm founder of Digital Marketing Mogul, and I just want you guys to see me for a second. I help business owners, bosses, and coaches find strategies that help increase revenue and send conversions through the roof. So this is the Brand Like a Boss webinar, and I was just saying that I really don't want to go into details about the logistics of the business side per se, but I do want to talk about some of the other aspects and misconceptions that people have with regards to what it means to be a boss. So, yeah, I'm doing this Brand Like a Boss webinar, and I want to share with you guys some information about this. I'm not going to keep you guys long. I'm going to try not to keep you guys too long. But again, welcome. So, let's get back to these slides. Let's see. So, brand like a boss. What does it mean to brand like a boss? So again, welcome. Who am I? I'm Christina. I'm a marketing consultant who can initiate groundbreaking campaigns. And I've made it my life's work to help business owners, and I have a set of skills that I'm not going to go into, but they do include web design, marketing, digital marketing plan strategies, SEO content, things of that nature. So let's get into it. What is a brand? Now, people have their own conceptions about what a brand is. We all know a good brand when we see one. For example, McDonald's. When we see those golden arches, we know who they are. A lot of brands have logos. A lot of brands have things that make them stand out. But quiet as kept, it's not always the logo that makes us commit to a brand. It's not always the logo that makes us aware of a brand. There's a lot more that goes into it than that. So let's talk about what a brand is not. A brand is not a logo. It's not a slogan. It's not a phrase, and it's not a color scheme. It's really not what you think. What is a brand? A brand is a gut feeling that people get when they think about your business. So as business owners, as people who want to curate brands and just different things that make us different and differentiate us from the rest, we want to keep that in mind when building a brand. Everything that we do goes into how they feel about what we do. So the services that we provide, the level of excellence that we commit to, all of those things make us different. Those things add to that gut feeling that people get when they think about whatever it is that you do. So instead of putting so much pressure on the cosmetic side, it's more important to focus more so on it's more important to focus on how do we make the person feel when they leave, when they finish. How are we going to make them feel? So what feeling do get I want to ask you a question. What feeling do people get when they do business with you? Like, how do they feel when they decide to do business with you? because it's important for us as, again, as business owners, to make sure that we're doing things that give people a sense of our originality, gives people a sense of who we are as individuals. It gives people a sense of what we do. Always working in the spirit of excellence. But what feeling do people get when they do business with you? That's something that I just want to take a pause and just let that marinate for a minute, because that's a very important question. That is a very, very important question for us. What feeling do people get when they do business with you? So we're going to talk about one thing that I believe that people get mixed up with branding, which is customization versus branding. So all of these things somewhat embody the way that people feel about your brand. And we do things to make us stand out, maybe from a cosmetic side, in order to be recognized, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the same as the feeling that they get. And they may get a type of feeling, like when you go into brand colors and things like that. But it's all plays into the bigger role. So we also do things to encourage trust among our customers. Okay, so customization versus branding. So the best place to be is in a place of balance when it comes to creating what you create and doing what you do. I believe if you are in a place where you have thoughtfully created something to present to someone, then you're golden, because everything that we do goes into it, from the slides we choose, from the flat lays that we choose, from the social media posts that we choose. Everything is all a part of a grand strategy. So um, we want to send clear messages, and we want to think past the product. It's not just about the product, it's about the people. Because when you do things for people and not for products per se, you're putting yourself in a better place. You're putting yourself in a position to win, and you're putting yourself in a position to help others. And when we do things for others, that helps more so than just doing things for ourselves. So let's talk about customization. What is customization? What does customization mean to you? In the sense of, quote unquote, what branding, what it means to brand. Customization. Let me see. Yeah, so back to what I was saying. Sorry about that interruption. But customization, usually when people think about customization, well, usually when people think about branding, they think about customization. When in essence, customization is different from branding. Customization includes brand colors, logos, websites, flyers, and decals. Those are things that we use, like, once we've established who we are, in order to communicate who we are to who we're speaking to. So again, these are things not to be confused with branding. Um, my little thing is, I don't know if you can see the whole thing. Let me see if I can make it bigger so you guys can see it. There we go. All right, so let's see if I can put this. Oh, snap. I'm sorry, guys. If you're watching it, you can see my screen just went to the side. Oh, went to the side again. All right, so um, all right. So let me see. All right. So I am back, and my computer died. So please bear with me. Yeah, so I'm back, and I was talking about customization versus branding. And I'm in the process of doing an Instagram live. Hmm. Yeah. So customization versus branding. I believe that a lot of times people get the two somewhat mixed up, but it's important to remember that customization is not the same thing as branding. So, all right, now we're in the process of those of you who have just joined us via Instagram Live. Hi, my name is Christina Elkins. I'm the digital marketing mogul, and I'm in the midst of this brand like a boss webinar. So, I'm in the process of showing everybody or just talking about customization versus branding. So, what is branding? So, branding consists of core values. Okay, so we're talking about customization versus branding. So, customization is brand colors, logos, websites, flyers, um, and decals. All right, so what's branding? Branding consists of core values, consumer experience, emotional connection, and authenticity and differentiation. So, people may think that branding is like has to do with like colors and logos and different things like that, but those are really the cosmetic aspects of branding. Branding consists of something deeper. Your core values have an effect on how people feel about you. Your consumer experience has an effect on how people feel about you. It's a gut feeling that people get. We usually get it. We usually like if we go to a new place to eat dinner, or if there's like a new boutique or a new shop that opens up. We usually try to go based off of how we feel. 9 times out of 10, you're not just gonna like go to a place unless you feel something in your gut telling you that. And so I was just going reiterating on how branding relates to our core values and emotional connection, our authenticity, because those are all aspects that have something to do with why a person feels a certain type of way about what it is that you're doing. So um, what are some things that can contribute to the way that people feel about you? Well, if you differentiate yourself, collaborate, innovate, validate, cultivate, and do. And this quote is from the book, The Brand Gap. So these are all things that can help us um, shape the way that people feel about what it is that we're doing. These are things that we can do. We differentiate ourselves by positioning ourselves in a manner that shows what it is that we do different. A lot of times you get a lot of people doing the same thing. It's not about people doing the same thing. You're going to get that. There's nothing wrong with competition. You have Burger King and McDonald's competition. People go to both make a lot of money. So it's not necessarily about being the only person who does a certain thing. It's not really what you do, it's the way you do it that differentiates you from um, other brands that do similar things. So the next thing is collaborate. It's important for us to collaborate with one another and be innovative as well. So those are all things that go into branding and essentially how people feel about what it is that we do. So, what is a brand analysis? All right. So, what's the brand analysis? What is it? How does one go about doing a brand analysis? Why is a brand analysis important? A brand analysis is important because it's going to give you the ability. Hi, serial entrepreneur. How are you? You are with us today at the Brand Like a Boss webinar. So I'm sharing a webinar via Instagram Live, and I don't know, I just wanted to pop in and let you guys see what was going on with the webinar. So we're talking about branding, and right now we're going to go into brand analysis. So why is a brand analysis important? Why do I need a brand analysis, and what is a brand analysis? A brand analysis um, it helps you determine, because we all have ideas with thoughts and things we want to do. We all have goals, but a brand analysis helps you determine. It gives you a chance to step back, to look at the market, to see what you have to offer the market. And Oprah calls it a woosah moment, when you realize that you have something great to offer, but it's just like you don't know how to go about taking the steps forward to actually get that thing done. So what a brand analysis does is it gives you the ability to, hello, beloved hair wigs. You came just in time for the Brand Like a Boss webinar. So we're talking about brand analysis, and it gives you the ability to step back and see what you have to offer. So I'm just going to share this slide with you guys. So brand analysis. What is your current industry? Who is your target audience? What is your passion? What needs does your target audience have? What is your advantage, and what unique skills do you have that make you stand out? So these are all questions that you want to ask yourself when you're getting ready to do a brand analysis, because this is going to help you stand out. This is going to help you determine, like I was saying before, when you have that great idea, but you just don't know how you're going to quite get it out. This is important because it's going to give you the ability to get your bearings about yourself before you jump out there. So it's important. And the camera's shaking, but it's important to know what it is that you do and what your current industry is, right? So we already know that. So who is your target audience? That's important because when you go to do your Facebook ads and your Instagram ads, it will help you. For example, I recently signed up for Instagram business, and I realized that a lot of people who were between the ages of um, 24 and 36 were responding. So it makes more sense for me to like target that demographic because I naturally, organically have a connection with people within that demographic. So understanding your target audience can help you because like if you're selling something primarily for women, why even waste time and money trying to send messages to a demographic that doesn't even match it? So that's why that's important. So what needs does your target audience have? When you're meeting a need, then you're gonna get when there's it's just like supply and demand. When you meet a need, the people are gonna come. And what's your brand advantage? Every brand has an advantage. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how many other people are doing what you do. Once you determine what your advantage is, and then that kind of goes into because earlier we were talking about branding, the core about what branding is compared to customization. So customization consists of brand colors, logos, websites, flyers, and decals. But branding has more so to do with what are your core values? What's your consumer experience? What's the emotional connection? What's the authenticity and your differentiation? So when you go into your brand analysis and you're talking about your brand advantage, what is it that you can provide that's going to give you that edge, that's going to make a person feel a certain type of way and give them a good gut feeling about what it is that you do. So it's in the details. Customization can help add to what your brand is, but your brand essentially is a feeling. And that's the thing that was so to me special about this webinar, is because a lot of times people think that branding is like other things, but it's really that feeling. So it's like you do all of these things to give people a feeling about what it is that you do. So when you go to develop your strategy, you know what kind of graphics you want, you know what type of packaging you want to package it in, you know what type of you may have to do a professional photo shoot in order to give it a pop. But investing a little bit more into that professional photo shoot is going to give people that that feeling like, oh, this person invested in this. Oh, well, this person spent some money on a photo shoot for this, and it brings the vision out even more. So yeah, so the brand analysis example. So for me, this is an example of what my brand analysis will look like. Okay. So it really, and I'll show you guys the workbook. There's a workbook that what goes along with this that I shared with the people who register for it. So the brand analysis, and if y'all need it, just let me know. If you DM me, beloved hair and wigs, and whoever's coming on the Instagram live, if you need the workbook, if it's something that you're interested in, DM me your email address and I will send it to you. So this is an example, like I was saying, of a brand analysis. Hey, Dimachar, welcome. So and it includes, for me, it includes my industry, my target audience, my passion, the needs of my target audience, my advantage, my skills, and my value. So my industry, and I mean, this is something that everybody would do based off of their industry. My industry is marketing. So my target audience is business owners. My passion is to help businesses reach their full potential. The needs of my target audience consist of information. So I'm essentially selling information to help. So my advantages are video editing, technical writing, internet marketing certification, and website development. So those are things that I specialize in. So my skills are internet marketing, SEO optimization, business consultation, commercial creation, publishing packages, ability to communicate, and yada yada yada. So you kind of see, and then the brand value is continuous brand management. So that's for me, but for you, whatever market you're in, it might be different, you know. But this is just an example of what a brand analysis is. Let me see. I said I was only going to be 30 minutes. I'm not. I'm not going to try to take up too much time. So, y'all, you could, guys, you could feel free on Instagram Live. Y'all could feel free to ask questions. I'm so excited that you decided to come pop in and check on us. So, the next thing that we're going to talk about is branding. So, what are some questions that we need to ask ourselves? So we need to ask ourselves, who am I? What do I do? And why does it matter? These are all important questions that can kind of just get you thinking and get your engines rolling, so that but when it comes time when you get the customer or the client in front of you, it kind of goes into that elevator pitch thing. Like, okay, who is this person? What do they do? And why should they care? That's really what I mean, especially now, because online we only have like 8 seconds. And the other day somebody said 3 seconds to catch somebody's attention. So whenever we're making messages, social media messages, um, posts, whatever it is that we're doing, it's important to um, let them know, okay, who I am, who am I, what do I do, why does it matter? It's important for us to know that. And to be able to just go off like at any moment, so that we're not like boring people. But this is something else that goes into branding. It's when we brand, it's important for us to know these things off a rip, because those are the things that represent our brand. So we're gonna go into the brand audits, and let me see. All right, so what is a brand audit? Let me go back here. All right, so a brand audit is, like I was saying earlier, something that you do in order to see where you're at, see where you stand, right? So we live in a social media age, and when people, if we have a brand, and if y'all wanted me to put it back on the thing, just let me know and I will. But you have a brand, so people want to look you up, right? They want to see, okay, who is this person? What do they do? We all do it. If we see something that we like, we go and look it up. So what does a brand audit do? A brand audit kind of lets you see who you are, where you are. You know what I'm saying? Online. So it lets you see where you stand. So it helps you to get a vision of, now this is particularly good for like people who are, if you're an entrepreneur, you're probably not looking for work, but it's just good to be conscious of what is my online image that people see. Even as an entrepreneur, people might look you up. So the brand audit is something that's done primarily on like an individual basis for you or for me, but it's important for a person to just be conscious of or cognizant of, how do people see me? How am I perceived out here? You know what I'm saying, on the internet, because I'm a business owner and somebody might look you up. They might be like, okay, well, who is this person? Should I do business with them? What's going on with them? And they might look you up depending on what you do. If you have like a personal brand, or even if you don't, because sometimes people still want to try to look it up. So let me go back to the screen so y'all can see this. So a brand audit is what appears when you complete a Google search, right? What are the results that are showing up upon a Facebook search, and what are your social media profiles? Now, all of these things are important because when people look for you or your business, what comes up is going to determine whether or not they do business with you, right? And I'm a big SEO head, right? So that's one of my biggest things. I did a lot of research in SEO, and I think, hold on, I messed up. Never mind. So I was thinking about saying something I didn't say it. I was just gonna say I've done a lot of extensive research in the hair care industry, because I don't know, I'm just like a hair care person a lot, but I do other fields too, like business and different things like that. So why am I telling you this? Because what appears when you complete a Google search can determine whether or not somebody is buying it. From an SEO perspective, if you appear when they're looking for something and they're buying something and your brand appears, then that's good. That's butter right there. That's our objective. So doing a brand audit can help you get an idea of where your brand is from an SEO perspective, and it also can help you, when people are trying to look you up. So this is the workbook. I don't even know what this, okay. Yeah. So this is the workbook that I sent out with the people who did get the signed up on the email, right? So this is the Brandlikeaboss brand audit workbook. So there was a little bit of homework on it, the personal brand audit worksheet, right? So the worksheet, it just says, how relevant are you in the names results. So the homework is to do online search for your brand and answer the questions to see where you are, to see where you land. So how relevant are you when the name results pop up, right? So if you don't come up at all, that's an SEO issue because people are shopping for things, and whatever it is you're selling, whenever they type it into the Google search engine, you want to pop up, right? So another question was on there is what appears when you complete a Google search and what results are shown. So we have a series of questions here, and the ultimate goal is to bring you back to this. Where is it at? This example. So the homework that's on the brand analysis worksheet is going to help you answer these questions so you get this pretty little brand analysis example. So by the end of it, you should know, who your target audience is and how you pop up, like in your brand's advantage. So you would have to essentially finish the questions on the workbook in order to get to this place. But one thing that I wanted to talk about in the workbook is knowing, how many followers you have, how many social media accounts you actually have, the number of followers you have on each social media account. Why is this information important? It's important because if you're running a social media campaign or ad and you have goals and objectives that you're trying to reach throughout each quarter, it's like we're in the fourth quarter. I'm actually at the beginning stages of building the audience and trying to get you guys involved with what I'm doing, introducing myself to you, things of that nature. So we should all have goals. So the brand audit is good because it gives you an idea of where you're at, like from a social media perspective and where you're trying to go. So hold up, do you need to add any relevant keywords to refine the search to find yourself, right? So that question is important because the keywords kind of go back into the SEO, and that gives us an advantage to know like what that gives us an opportunity to jot down like what are some of the keywords that need to pop up. Now, every link that you create is going to help you from an SEO perspective, and I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but every link that you create, every social media that you create, every post that you create is going to boost your brand from a SEO perspective, which essentially is going to result in more money, right? And then you kind of go and you say, what additional content do you have? So what if you have Tumblr, if you have a website, if you have a store? So a brand audit, what it's going to do is give you a clear vision of what do people see when they look me up online, right? It's like, what do they see when they look me up? Like, and then that's gonna, for me, when I did the brand audit for myself, it helped me because it kind of helped me see where I was, what websites I was associated with, if I have, because I have multiple businesses, so it's just kind of sometimes like you'll get your name might pop up when you type your name in. You might see some things that you really don't want to see. So it gave me opportunity to kind of clean up some of my, because right now my primary focus is digital marketing mogul. So I really wouldn't want my other businesses popping up right now because I'm focused on building digital marketing mogul. So it's going to give you an idea because sometimes we have like extra social media accounts we don't even know about. We don't even know the password for. We don't even know how to get in. We have stuff that we start. Like if you're like me, you have multiple businesses. It's just good to be organized. So this gives you an opportunity to kind of get yourself organized so that you can set clear goals. Like if you want to make more social media posts on Instagram for a specific brand, or if you want to try to set up a Hootsuite account for each brand that you have. Now, if you just have one brand, then you're golden. But for Hootsuite, they give you 3 different social media accounts that you can post simultaneously too. So doing the brand audit will help you because it gives you the ability to, I'm just going to turn this back around. So if you go on Hootsuite and you're trying to like get your life together, you can put everything together, you'll know how many different accounts I have, and you can set up a strategy as far as getting the ability to post regularly, because posting is another way to just get your brand going and get attention to it, because people come back and they look for stuff, and if you don't have anything for a while, they might even delete you. So we're going to talk about next monitoring the brand. And that's what I was saying with the Hootsuite thing. Monitoring the brand. How do I monitor the brand? What does that mean? So how can you monitor your brand? You can monitor your brand by listening, right? You can listen to see what are the trends in my industry. And some of the tools that you can use are Hootsuite, social media, news, and press releases. So what's Hootsuite? Let me see if I can go over here to Hootsuite so you guys can see. Wait, where's it at? I think I have my Hootsuite up for um digital marketing mogul, because I have a couple businesses. I have like a blog for Christian rap, because that's what I'm into. I have a blog for different stuff. So we're in Hootsuite right now. That's what this is. And what are these different brackets? I know you're like, what is she showing me? So how do I listen to the brand? I'm gonna go into all of that. So what am I looking at? Right? So these are streams. And let me see. The streams, I'm looking at different hashtags in my industry, and I'm trying to see what people are saying about it. That's how I'm listening to my brand. So if I want to add a stream in Hootsuite, first you have to kind of sign up. Then you get your email, you just sign up, and then you could choose like which social medias you want, right? So I have right here, I have Digital Marketing Mogul. That's my Facebook page. Market Like a Mogul, that's my Facebook group. And Digital Marketing Mogul, this is my Instagram page. So this gives me ability to, and they say add another one, but if I click on add another one, they're gonna, I don't think they're gonna let me add four. Like I'll try to do it, but it's not really gonna work. I'm not even logged into LinkedIn right now. But yeah, I think you only get three, and then you have to pay. And I'm not really, I'm kind of cheap. I'm gonna eventually. Okay, that looks really bad, but yeah. So, why am I telling you this? So you can add streams to Hootsuite. I mean, you could use it to post social media. I could do a whole separate webinar on how to use Hootsuite. But my whole idea is to come on here. I'm adding a stream. So let's say Instagram. So I'm going on Instagram. What do I want to search for? I want to search for hashtags. So enter a hashtag. So let's look up. Like let's say I was selling shea butter. So I'm typing in shea butter, right? And it's gonna show me like what's popping right now on Instagram with regards to shea butter. So I don't even know why this popped up. I don't even know why that popped up. Okay, good skincare products today. Try our natural soaps and skincare products. Okay, so you can kind of see what are the trends in your industry. Like, what are people posting about? This dude has some shea butter on his face. Okay, and then natural clean soaps, right? So you see she has her stuff posted up, like she's trying to get it in. So why am I telling you this? What are we doing right now? We're monitoring the brand. We're seeing what's hot. So if I'm somebody who sells shea butters, I'm seeing what are the trends in my industry. How are people using social media in order to get more information? This dude, let's see, natural hair moisture balm for Miss Tuffy's man. They getting it in, right? So, yeah, keeping a cool head. So, I'm just seeing, I'm getting an idea of how to market what it is that I do if I sell shea butter. And I'm also just seeing what are the trends as far as how people what are people saying about it? What's the conversation about it, right? And I chose shea butter because that one's a little bit easier to, because there are other ways you can listen to your brand. Like over here, there's SEO. And sometimes you do this and people aren't even saying nothing. But it's always good to get an idea. It helps you to see like where your competition is. So this is Feature Friday. Share the love for your favorite local business. Hashtag SEO. So it's just showing us like what are people saying. And I'm doing this. I'm using this through Hootsuite. I hope I didn't lose anybody. But I'm listening to my brand. And you don't just have to use Hootsuite to listen to your brand. You know who the like leaders are in your industry. You can also always have like a brand crush on somebody and just kind of keep an eye on what they're doing. With things like SEO, it's kind of hard because you find that a lot of people who do similar things, you really don't get anything outside of just seeing how they're promoting whatever it is that they're doing. And you're listening to the brand to see what's hot. I know a couple months ago, Shea Moisture was in trouble because they did a campaign ad. So if I was in the natural hair care industry, that's something that I would want to be aware of, right? So that's what monitoring the brand is. It's just staying abreast. And maybe you don't want to do it with Instagram. Maybe you want to add a Twitter stream. But whatever on Hootsuite, the way it's set up, I don't have a Twitter for Digital Marketing Mogul. But you can use like WordPress if you had a WordPress site to link. You can use YouTube if you had a YouTube site to link. And then you can search, let's see, playlist, or you could just do a search just to see what's the conversation about, right? So I guess I'm done with this, but I guess my whole point is, I hope I didn't lose anybody. My whole point is that it's important to monitor your brand. So you can also use the news and press releases as well, right? So profile branding evaluation. It helps us to identify areas that need work. Like if I don't even like if I'm selling shea butter and I don't even have any social media and I'm not even out here doing anything to promote it at all, that's the area that needs work because I have to promote what I have in order to sell it, right? And it helps us to reflect on opportunities that you have to make changes and what can you do to make sure that the brand is aligned with the vision of where you're trying to go. So that's my 30 minutes. I think I went up to almost 40 minutes. So my question to you is, what's your strategy? What are you doing in order to make sure that you're positioning yourself um, and your brand in order to increase the amount of money that's coming in and to increase the amount of people who come, not only come to your website, but actually buy from your website? Um, so what is the strategy? And that is up to you. That's up to you. So if you are a person who wait, let me go back. If you are a person, and let me turn this around because I'm at the end. I'm about to go for my little walk. But if you're a person who has a brand and you don't have a strategy, that's fine. That's fine. If you need a strategy, you can always come to me. Um, I'm here to help. But it's important to know what your strategy is, and it's important to kind of monitor yourself and do a brand audit just so you can see where you stand. So that when you do develop a marketing campaign or a marketing strategy, by way of SEO or just developing your business plan or just getting your ducks in a row, business is not easy. And you can't do it all in one day. Don't drive yourself crazy. Don't lose any sleep. But if you do need help with something, just let me know. Visit my website at www.digitalmarketingmogul.com. I'm not really in a place where I'm promoting anything outside of this brand like a boss thing because I just want to help people at this point. I'm in the nurture phase of my funnel, so I don't want to like bombard you with all of this. Oh, look at me, come and buy this for me type situation. But I will say that the three people who are here, Ding, Beloved Hair and Wigs, and Serial Entrepreneur, which I'm not gonna push on you guys. If you um have any questions for me, I'm offering a complimentary 30-minute consultation. My consultations usually run anywhere between $70 and $150. So if you want to pluck my brain or pick my business brain, if you have questions about SEO, if you have questions about branding, I'll offer you guys a complimentary SEO because you came to actually watch. But other than that, I mean, you can keep an eye out. I'm saying, I'm still in the nurturing phase of my sales funnel, so I'm not really trying to like sell anything at this point. But yeah, so thank you so much for coming to check me out. I'm about to see if I can catch some daylight and go for a walk. But that is the Brand Like a Boss webinar. And like I was saying, if y'all need the worksheet, just hit me up on the DM with your email and I'll send it to you. So thank you so much for your time. And I'm about to go. And does anybody have any questions? No? Aw. Thank you guys for coming to hang out with me. I really appreciate that.